here are the two things I think we could do. Look, on how do you end the war in Gaza? Right?
Yeah, that's a great question. What would you do to curtail things right now in Gaza? Do you think they're really going to aim for like a two-party state over there? To me, it looks like they're just going to try to sweep these people into the ocean, you know? Well, I hate to say that.
The problem is you've got Netanyahu, who is listening to his right wing, right? Ben Gvir and Smotrich. These are two guys.
Smokeless is other guy's name?
Smotrich.
Bring him up.
There he is, Smotrich.
Bezalel Smotrich, yeah.
And these guys are basically telling they're telling Netanyahu that if you stop bombing Gaza until all of Hamas is killed, that we won't support you for prime minister. So if Netanyahu stops, he stops being prime minister.
I see what he's saying. So he's in a bit of a catch-22.
He's in a catch-22.
But I don't understand because you always hear great things about the Israeli military, right? The IDF, you always hear like how amazing they are. And I've met a lot of former people that have been in it and guys who were like in the Krav Maga, some really talented warriors, really. But then why not send like your Navy SEALs to get the actual Hamas people? I don't understand this. If you're so precise, then what is this? You're bug spraying this group, these people, you know, like
they got them in the first 3 months. They destroyed most of Hamas's military capability. But the reality is Hamas is both a military movement, but it's also partly a political movement. I mean, there are people.
Right. Some people in Palestine elected Hamas because they thought they needed a desperate political party.
Exactly.
Right.
So then the question is, well, what do you do? Because I agree with you that Hamas can't be governing Gaza.
Yeah.
And so there is a solution. And the solution is the president, Donald Trump, can call Netanyahu. He says, okay, enough with the bombing. You know, we're giving them right now 2,000-pound bombs to hit these civilians. We're giving them.
There's a video the other day. Sorry to interrupt you, bro.
Please.
Can you see if you can pull it up, Trevor? There's a video of a child picking up the casing of a missile and reading it, I think. See if you find that. Maybe we can't find it. That's okay. Do you think there's any chance of Palestine getting its land back there?
I do. But first of all, I mean, you talked about this child getting a missile. I mean, how would it make you feel that our tax dollars actually were paying for a lot of the missiles and the weapons that are being used to now kill Palestinians?
I agree. I think we've given them $12 billion this year, Israel allegedly. Can you look up what amount of war materials that we've given them, Trevin? United States provided significant military aid to Israel throughout 2025. The Trump administration, which took office in January 2025, has approved nearly $12 billion in major foreign military sales to Israel. This includes nearly a $3 billion arms sale. Does that mean we're selling them to them?
We're selling part of them to them, and then we've also given aid. Now, I voted against the offensive weapons aid about last year, but we approved it. So some of it is in aid. Some of it is in sales. Trump is giving them 2,000-pound bombs that they can be using. So here's, though, what I think that I'm hoping he or others may be listening to this, because your voice really matters. Because you know, and a lot of people who voted for him, and they voted for him because they wanted American patriotism. They wanted to focus on building our industrial base. They wanted us out of these wars. Donald Trump can call Netanyahu and he says, enough. We're not going to be giving you more offensive weapons to kill more civilians in Gaza. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to convene Saudi Arabia. I'm going to convene Jordan. What
does convene mean?
Convene mean bring them together.
Okay.
Convene, bring them together. That's it. We're going to get the Arab states together. Jordan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, people in Palestine, Fatah, Israel, the United States. And we're going to say we need a new government in Gaza. It can't be Hamas. You know, Hamas is a terrorist organization. We're going to get rid of Hamas. And we're going to make sure that this new government has Palestinian voices, but also has Saudi, Jordan, Egypt, part of it, to make it secure,
right,
so that they don't attack Israel. Because Saudi doesn't want to attack Israel. You know, he could win the Nobel Prize. You know, he wants to always win the Nobel Prize.
Donald Trump?
Donald Trump could win the Nobel Prize.
How could he win it, do you think, Ro?
I think if he comes in and he says to Netanyahu, stop this, I'm actually the president who's going to bring peace. And here's how we're going to do it. it's not just going to be Israel, the United States, and Palestine, because we agree Hamas can't be anywhere running Gaza. I mean, Hamas has called for the destruction of Israel. We have to stand for Israel's right to exist as a Jewish democratic state. I mean, that is a principle we have to respect. But we're going to get Saudi Arabia,
and they have to respect Palestine's right to exist.
They have to respect Palestine's right to self-determination and have a Palestinian state in Gaza and in the West Bank. And you can get those two states, and with land swaps, you could actually make it that even a lot of the settlers are still going to be able to stay in some of the places. I mean, you could get to a lot of the deal we know that needs to happen. But Trump has a good relationship with the Saudis. We have a good relationship with Jordan. We've got a good relationship with Egypt. Get all of these countries on board and say, okay, what is the new Palestinian leadership going to look like? Saudi, Egypt, Jordan, are you going to guarantee?
Qatar, too.
Qatar.
My boys over there.
I
was just over there, man. They had us all dressed up like a bunch of Ku Klux Klansmen.
You were in Qatar?
Yeah.
What were you doing in Qatar?
They had me come and perform for the troops.
Wow.
It was really great. It was pretty special. But sorry, I interrupted you just to get a joke in, but also was excited and had a great time there. They really treated me very nice. People thought I was a spy. I thought maybe they were going to try
to you could be part of this whole Middle East plan. Maybe you'll go perform if they get a state there. I mean, what bothers me is that we know what we need to do.
Right. So why is Trump afraid? Is Donald Trump afraid of Netanyahu? I don't understand that. Because Trump certainly feels like he is a guy who does not seem afraid to say what he wants to say.
I don't know what it is, because I want Trump to do the right thing. Like, I want him to start to end the war in Gaza, to actually figure out how we get peace there. And I think he could, if he picks up the phone and he says, Netanyahu, you're done. Netanyahu's going to stop the bombing. And then Netanyahu's going to say, okay, but we got Hamas. I can't stay here with Hamas. And Trump could say, okay, I'm going to help you get rid of Hamas. But you can't keep bombing and killing women and children. That's not getting rid of Hamas.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy, dude. I mean, it's just like...
And so you get Egypt, you get Jordan, you get Saudi Arabia. I call it the 23-state solution. You get all of those Arab states.
Put Mississippi. Dude, I'll tell you this. We can give Mississippi to Palestine. I've been saying that for 15 years. Have them come over, have Mississippi.
Have Mississippi?
Yeah. Have the Palestinian people come and move there if they want.
Yeah, but they want Palestine.
I understand.
Right?
I do understand that. I was just trying to give them something that I think everybody could, because Mississippi could use an economic boom. They could use, I think, some...
You're for Palestinian immigrants coming, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. With Palestinian immigrants coming, it would just kind of like add a new texture to that whole state. I think it needs like a rebirth of thought. They have a lot of great arts there, but I think they
had Faulkner.
Oh, yeah. They had some greats. They had Eudora Welty. They had Faulkner. They had Jackson Dart. I mean, they've got some great Morgan Freeman. I mean, those are easy ones, some of them. But no, I'm just saying if they had the Palestinians there, it would be interesting. So I've just always thought that would be interesting.
But I think your voice on this really matters, because no one sees you as sort of like some campus activist shutting down university buildings. You're talking to regular people. You're talking to people who are truck drivers and blue collar workers, and you're saying, you know what? I'm always for the little guy. From the stuff I've seen about you, if there's like one Theo Von political philosophy, it seems like you're for the people who are being bullied. You're for the people who are kind of shut out. And that's how you're seeing this Palestinian issue. It's not because it's not Jewish or Palestinian or Muslim. It's like, how can we not be for both people? And now you're the most powerful country in the world. And a lot of people, supported Donald Trump. And he has an opportunity to bring the suffering to the end and make peace. Yeah. And
we're supposed to be the ones there to help, right?
Right.
We're supposed to be the ones there to help. And if your country isn't even going to do that at a level that's grandiose, right, then what makes you want to go home and do that at your own level? You'll still do that, but you won't do it in feeling that you are supported by your country. And I don't want people to go die over there. I don't think that it doesn't feel right to me. And that's okay. Some people might be like, well, you're not a political pundit. I don't give a shit.
But you know what?
I don't care if I am or not. I am a human being.
And you're a citizen.
And I am a citizen. And some people are like, well, you're lucky to be a citizen. Yeah, but I'm a citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a citizen. I think the Native Americans should get things back. And to me, it does start to feel like that. You're like, it has been such a massacre. They are so overabundant. I mean, it's basically people climbing into holes of rubble looking for pieces of their children and family members. And it's like we're watching it all. It really does feel like, am I now part of some sick experiment? Like, how long do I sit and watch before I raise my hand or say something, or at least some part of me that has a voice inside of me, like says, I don't want, just take me out. I don't want to be in this game anymore. I don't like it, man. I don't like it.